everyone, welcome back to Window Chats with Robyn, the podcast where I sit by my window and chat with very interesting people. I'm already smiling. Today's guest is Esther Chung. Oh my gosh, Esther, it's happening. We always talk, but now we're talking and people can hear our conversations, so it's a little filtered. Or is it? Probably not. Oh my gosh, Esther, thanks for coming on. I'm so excited to talk to you.
This is wild. I am so jazzed to be here in my house. I love being in my house. Thank you.
It's, you know what? Let me tell you, it saves on travel fees. It's the cheapest podcast I could think of doing. I actually do have to pay a monthly fee for this now.
You really?
Yeah, because I record, I'm recording more than the freebie. Like, I think 5 hours a month is free.
Or whatever?
Yeah. I talk a lot, so it is what it is. Yeah. But no, thank you for talking to me in the comfort of your own home and for having lovely lighting. I love this ambiance.
I actually, my husband set up this thing. You can't see it, but as
I can. Amy Poehler.
He wanted it to seem like I was really well read.
Oh my God, I love your husband so much. It's so artsy.
But then great. I'm now knowing what it looks like. I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter.
No, it will. Okay, so this is also weird. And oh crap, I didn't clean that. Apparently, so we see this angle, but then the final wide shot is a little wider. So we probably will see the books, and you'll probably see a little bit of the crap that I tried to hide, but unsuccessfully.
I'm like, what's up here?
It's like a little extra. Well, it's a little exciting for no one. Because you have your, no, this is the only thing you see on screen. Not necessarily. So.
Uh-oh, surprise.
We're gonna judge each other after. If you're like, girl, can you clean up this random, I don't even know if it's a bookshelf, something from IKEA that folds over. No, I cannot clean it up. I refuse. I'm just piling up the scripts. Because you never know.
Fair play.
You know when you print off a script and then you get a call back and you're like, ugh, I shouldn't have recycled that script. Damn it.
I never recycled them.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I literally have a stack of them in my house.
Ooh.
I don't know. That's probably like one of the things that you're supposed to do is like you do your self-tape and then you forget it. And I'm like, I don't want to forget it. I'm trying to manifest it to come true.
Oh my. Okay, but the ones that's the problem is the ones that I keep because I'm like, oh, I want this one. This is so me. Never hear back from them.
Ever.
So that's why I started getting rid of them. And when I get rid of them now, that's the ones that I book. I go, okay, everything's getting recycled.
Yeah, you know what?
That's saving the environment.
I love it's a two for one
Win-win.
deal there. Yeah, for sure. 100%. Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. I'm in such a weird. No, I love every guest. I do. I don't want any guest to feel like they weren't as appreciated. But Esther, we just go so far back, and I've never spoken to someone more than you during the pandemic. I feel like that's what I feel like.
And can you believe that it was because I had stalked you so heavily when, back in the day when we were on the same roster for a minute, right before the pandemic started. Do you remember that? I was going into a show.
So funny.
And you were on the street, not like in a homeless sense, but...
I mean, it's hard to say. People meet me in weird places, so, that's not the weirdest story.
I think you were coming out of a bus shelter, were you not?
Honestly, I think I had, some kind of either audition callback scenario at Man Casting. I feel like that's what it was. Queen and Logan vibes.
But I remembered you. I knew who you were, and I had to do that weird thing. Do you remember where I'm like, I know who you are, but you probably don't recognize me because I'm a crazy person.
No! I definitely...
memory.
I knew who you were. I knew who you were because I think we met, or you had audited a class that I was in an LB once.
And my phone went off in that class.
Okay, but I love that too. Because I've never seen anyone feel worse than you. I'm like, okay, it wasn't, when people let the phone ring, which I see all the time, or they pretend the phone didn't go off, you're just you owned it in the sense of, okay, no, I'm just gonna, I have a family, life, there is life outside of acting class, people, let's remember that. But you weren't mean about it. I just thought, it was a nice way to do it, and I like her, and I felt for you because I hate when my phone goes off and I go, oh shit, I thought I turned it off, and it's that whole so I felt for you, and
Do
I
you
remembered
remember
you.
it was, well, obviously I remember like everything. It was during like a pivotal moment. The actor was doing beautiful work at the
Oh my god.
time, and I was like being like transcended into the heavens, and then the rude awakening of my terrible, oh my god, I remember uh Mr. Bomander. He
Classic
gave
Lewis.
me the evilest, most appropriate evil eye response to that. And I was like, I wish I could die.
I,
Right
I don't
now.
even, you know what? It's so funny though. Like Lewis and his facial expression, he doesn't even have to do anything. He just looks at you and you go, I know I failed as an actor.
Yes.
You know, like he
Yes.
just has that, not in a mean way. It's just because you go, oh my God, he's seen it all. He's probably never seen anyone's phone go off ever. During my class.
I mean, it was for the ages, that look.
Oh God, I know.
That
Okay,
look
like
was a ringtone or an alarm, you would always wake up. Like you'd be like, shame.
he's one of those people that to this day I remember feedback he's given me because like what he says just sticks. And it's because he's been around for so long. And
Yes.
honestly, his classes, the talent that's come from LB, like everyone is so lovely and so nice. And they're all creating their own stuff now too. And it's a really lovely environment there. I was so like we didn't really meet there. We're backing. How did we get here? We didn't really
No.
meet officially, but I did after we had that whole subway meet cue, very Hallmark. I saw your show. It was great. It was that play with not who was Marion producing that? Or
Oh, Marianne is I think the artistic director. She created the Women at Plays.
yes, okay.
And it's like just like an anthology of like one acts that she put together. Not just. It was a big thing. She put it together. It's all women behind the scenes, women on the stage, you know, organized by, oh my God, this is how dumb I am. I thought that was like an emoji.
Oh my gosh, I see that heart. Yes. For those that are just listening to this is a burrito mug with a lot of hearts on it. That's so funny. Oh,
Okay.
I can see that. I love.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just hold
It
it
kind
up
of
and do.
out of nowhere.
I'm just gonna do heart emojis with the mug for the rest of the chat. I love this. This is a new thing. This is window chats going forward. Is gonna be heart emoji. Bring it down.
God.
You changed me forever.
Yeah. So she had organized it, and she'd like, I think it was the fourth or the fifth one of its kind.
Oh, cool.
That's how we met, and then
You were great though. It was so I loved. Here's the thing. I see shows because I want to be supportive. I love not having to lie that you were good. You know, because that's an awkward conversation of like. And now I've learned after talking to people, you're supposed to say if someone wasn't good, it looked like you had fun out there. Sure.
Yes.
But I had never seen you. I don't know where I had seen you before, but you have just such a fun theater presence. Like I remember the gist of the play, but I'm like, I want to know her and be friends with her. I really like this. You were great.
Oh, thank you. It feels like it literally is like a lifetime away. Like so much has happened. We did not even know. Like I remember hearing rumblings about this thing that was happening in China, and then the whole world stopped. I think the week after we closed, we did it for 3 weeks, I think, and everything.
So that was in March. Wow.
Yeah, or like the end of February,
or early end of February. Okay.
moving into March, and then people were talking about like restrictions, and we're like, what? That's impossible. How are you going to shut down?
Yes.
How are you going to shut down a city? How are you going to shut down a country? That's impossible, right? And then Ghost Town. We were all playing Ghost Town in real life.
I remember, I don't know if you had auditions that week when it shut down, but I think it was like March 13th or something, March 13th, 2020, and I had an audition on the Monday. And then they were kind of like, maybe we don't do this audition. And I go, okay. I mean, I'll still do it. It doesn't sound that, like the actor in me. No. This, because it was also, yes. I read it and I go, a commercial that I finally understand. This is my role. And then the world shut down. And I go, oh my God, I wanted that role. But yes, the world shut down. It was sad. Okay.
Hells to the no. And then everything shut down and like so many things happened and and now we're here. And now it's like COVID isn't happening anymore.
I know, that's entertaining. Okay. I'm like, it's just really so now we're done. Everyone, it's over. Get over it. Ooh.
It's still there. I'm still masking. My kids mask when they go to school.
Well, this is getting political.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to put this in it. You can just lop all this off. This is just like me and you.
No, we're keeping everything. I said I was going to edit, but we're keeping it all.
Liza Minnelli.
So fun. Okay, let's discuss, guys. Let's discuss political views. So,
look. Kanye.
I know, right? Yeah, let's bring up my all my thoughts towards anti-Semitism right now.
Let's go. I'm into it.
Oh, God. Since actually that's inspiring another idea, and we'll see if that one works out. But, I'm an idea person. Okay. I love that I was looking back through things that I've done because I had a dark week and I go, I'm unsuccessful. What am I doing with my life? Meltdown. And I watched the Self-Tape Perils again. Now, the Self-Tape Perils, for those who have never watched it, was my first attempt at a web series. I have no idea in my head, this was so funny. It was great. It was so good. And I watched it and I go, why did anyone agree to be part of this? I don't know what. It was just.
This is why. Because you are a natural born leader. You are a mover. You are a shaker. You are a rainmaker.
Without the money. Okay.
You make things happen. I mean, we'll not talk about the money, but like things happen. You want to do something, lady? You want to have people use the word namaste incorrectly? You get 3 to 5 people to send you tapes.
Oh my God. In my head, it was so funny. And everyone committed. And I'm like, this is great. And I watched it and I go, oh God, if this wasn't against anyone's performance, I go, this is just so not funny. Oh, what a shame.
It was
okay. It was okay.
Maybe it wasn't funny, but it was fun. And everybody was organized and galvanized into doing a project.
True. Yes.
We were all sadly lacking in doing things and whatever, and you had a captive audience. But think about all the connections you made and all the things that have kind of come out. Like, you've probably interviewed everyone for Window Chats. How many of those people have you interviewed for Window Chats?
Well, now I feel bad because not enough. I know. I realized I haven't. There was a lot of people in that. There was. Oh, I have not interviewed them. Thank you for letting me pointing. And that wasn't from
a few, right?
I have probably from other projects I randomly created, which also I have thoughts on. But oh wow, I should reach out to people more. I mean, I say that, but I also have like this growing list of I have to talk to. I mean, I don't have to. I am excited to talk to because I think this is what happens for anyone that's like Robyn keeps saying, I will be on her chat. I'm not ghosting you. I legitimately keep trying to pivot this after every season. I keep trying to, I'm like, this is my new idea. And then I go on this whole week of how am I going to do this? It's going to be great. And then I go, no, that's overthinking and silly. And then I go, okay, let's go back to my list of chats. Sorry guys. It's been a minute. I just thought it would be something different and it's not. No. So
that's cool.
I mean, yes and no. It's exhausting. I'm tired.
This is your baby and you have done amazing things with it.
Esther, stop. Thank you.
It's so true though. Like, I think because I've seen it from the beginning, and if you probably like, you should do that thing where you do like a side by side of like the first one you did, and the
Oh
most
my God, I was so
recent
nervous.
one
Shout
you
out to
do.
Sean Cisterna. I didn't know I could ask people things, you know? I'm like, hello, thank you so much for being on my podcast. Grateful host. We're supposed to talk. Okay, words. Weather. Uh,
You are good though. You are good at feeling like, no, I think that you're really good at filling air without it seeming like you're just talking.
oh, thank you.
Like everything feels purposeful and meaningful and legitimate and genuine. Like I said, I've just been.
I'm
watching...
saving this clip and I'm playing it when I go, Robyn, why are you rambling like a moron? And I'll go,
Never.
Esther doesn't think I'm a moron. Okay.
Never. It never, ever, whatever you think, that is a you problem. That's not what other people think, for sure.
So interesting.
Because I've seen so many of them now that it's like, oh, there's so much purpose. And can I spill a little tea? Not
my God,
real
yes.
tea, but just between you and me. But
and
like,
everyone watching, heart. Okay.
But like, yeah, that should be your like cut thing, where it's like every time I lift the mug, it's cut.
Oh, I really don't want to edit. Oh my God. Oh, that's why I'm like, I understand. I understand people want pre-recorded. I respect it. I do. But I go, but that's so much more work for me.
So much. 100%.
Yeah.
But, oh, shoot, I forgot.
You were saying you were going to spill tea, and then I was going to spill this, and I thought, no, I want this. I made a coffee. I made actually a latte.
Is it a latte? I only have
It is
water.
oat milk latte. I actually tried the other day pistachio milk. That's a sidebar filler. And
was it gross?
It wasn't. But can you imagine? Because think about this. I had pistachio gelato, and it was delightful.
Yes, love
Thus,
it.
the milk form with a little bit of foam and coffee. I don't know why I'm using that voice. But it was lovely.
Yes.
It was, yeah. So there you go. You've been influenced. I flashed my hand and go, that's how it works. Every time I want to influence someone, I just flash really quickly. Heart. I'm not an...
I feel like it will only work on no one.
Yeah, sounds right. I get influenced so easy, man. Oh my God. Okay, this is my new idea. I'm sharing it because maybe that'll force me to finally make a sketch. Sorry, I'm also trying to figure out my bangs life right now. I don't know where it's supposed to sit.
I love it.
I appreciate that, but I don't get them. They move. So maybe I have to gel them. Anyways, I'll figure that out. Yeah, gotta gel it.
Hairspray? I don't know.
I tried it. I don't know. This is it for now.
Putty.
Or
mud. You know that
true.
mud? Styling mud?
Yeah.
That might help.
I love that I pay for mud and just go outside, rub some dirt in it. I don't know.
Vaseline. I don't know.
Hair care. Oh yeah, Vaseline. That works. But no, so I have this idea, or at least this notion, and tell me if you agree or not, where, you know, these nowadays with the youngins and the Instagram, but all these young kids are doing this influencing, whatever. Yeah. But I was at the store the other day, and there was this old woman pushing product hard, and she was pushing this chocolate, whatever, and I could not say no to her. And I thought, this is an untapped market of influencers right here. Older women, grandmothers of sorts, that are just like, honey, would you love some chocolate? Oh, it's not on sale, but it's really good quality. And if anything, buy 5. And I'm just going, I'm talking to my husband. I go, oh my God, Mike, we have to buy this. Like, this is her night. It's a Saturday night. And she's pushing chocolate. Like, I want to support. She's not, it's not even her brand. She's just selling it. And I just felt so compelled to support her.
Where was this? Like,
this was like it was Whole Foods, right? Like this fancy Whole Foods sample, and she's letting you try a little bit of the chocolate and then going, and then here's the bar, and then here you go. Try them all, but buy them all. And I go, and she wasn't even pushy. She was just so lovely. And I thought, I should buy everything from her. Maybe then she could go home sooner. How much longer does she have to live? You know? So this is what, so we bought chocolate, and I thought, this woman needs an Instagram. So that is grandmother influencers. I am going to start my own agency of grandmother influencers. It's happening.
Nanas, bubbies, Zetas.
The bubbies. Oh, the Zadies.
You think that you would have the same? I think I would actually be more inclined with grandfathers. I don't know.
Okay.
This is a
Okay.
little kindly old man that
Yep,
was
I see
like,
that.
try this cheese popcorn. I didn't make it, but I hear it's done in a kettle. It's kettle corn. Do you know what kettle corn is? I have a corn on my foot. Back in the war.
Oh
like,
my God, Esther, we have to create something like this. Oh, that's so funny.
Stuff. So much stuff. I think I would. That's a guy where I would be like, I'm gonna buy all of your kettle corn.
Right.
I'm gonna take care of the corn on your foot, and you are coming home with me. Coming home with me and making me feel good and reading me
Oh
bedtime.
my God. And then Rick is just, Esther, again? What is it? You gotta stop bringing these old men home.
Stop bringing Moses around.
Oh God. Oh,
Anywho.
that is so funny.
Non sequitur. I don't know how did we get here?
I don't know, man. This is part of this is why I knew I'd love chatting with you. I'm like, I don't know what we're gonna talk about. It's gonna be weird and awesome. Watch it back.
I was feeling like so like nervous.
I thought you were gonna spill tea at one point, and then we went on a journey.
I forgot about what the tea was. It was about me watching and something. It was but nasty. Like I was being like not nice. Like
oh, so see, and then maybe I knew that, and I didn't want to edit this, so I thought, no, we're not gonna talk.
Can't do
okay,
it. Can't do
Did
it.
Did it? We'll talk offline. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not doing a lot. I feel like it's kind of a slow period for me in the acting world. In all seriousness. I feel like it's been like I haven't been doing a ton of auditions. So like I feel like I don't know if other people are feeling it where it's like what am I doing wrong? Do I have bad mojo? Do I have like should I be like am I doing something wrong? Is kind of like the prevalent thought that I think.
Right.
And I think because it happens so often, because this is an erratic business, I started to learn different weird things to put on my resume.
Ooh, okay, yes.
So I taught myself how to play the ukulele.
Of course, I see that for you.
I taught myself how to crochet. Like I've always known how to crochet, but like it's like, oh, I'm making an item. I recently am taking a watercolor class.
Oh, it's painting. I was just picturing you adding food dye to different water glasses and going.
Do you imagine? I've turned into a watercolor medium. My name is Mistress Ezra.
Oh my God.
And I can tell your fortune by dropping food dye into wine glasses.
The food dye, it turns into one of those ink blot tests, so you just do a couple 2 drops and then you see their future.
Exactly. You're going to be married, you're going to have 4 kids, $50, thank you. That's the new thing.
I really wish I could bullshit that job. Because I think people love hearing things about their future. So if I could commit to, doing tarot cards versus, because people love that, right? Like the amount of money people will spend on a tarot card reading versus a physiotherapy assessment, appointment, whatever. I go, maybe I should start being a physio that does tarot cards. I don't know.
I mean, people really like their stories, and they don't want to face the truth that they should probably stretch more.
Well, that's right. Like, oh my gosh, I have this horrible back pain. Let's do a tarot card reading. Oh, it's related to, you just had a lot of stress. I'm like, or maybe you've been sitting down for 3 days in a row and haven't stood once. You're sitting for the tarot card reading. Stand up.
Yeah. It should only be, if you do that.
Stand up tarot card reading.
Yes, you should only do it if it's standing, and then, like, I don't know if you can do any manipulations from the standing position.
I mean, I get creative. I don't know if manipulations is a way. I could do some traction. Could do something. I hate when people don't know how to treat themselves on their own. I don't want them wasting money on me. It's a terrible business plan. I'm like, here's how you can fix yourself at home. And I go, but wait, don't I want them? No, and this is why I'm not making money as a physio.
It's because you're too good at your job. Can
No,
you
I've
just
gotten.
be a little
That's so
bit
funny.
worse? Can you be a little
It's
worse?
I don't want to though when it comes to
Just a
health, man. That
tiny
would
bit terrible. Just a tiny
I
bit
can be
terrible.
terrible at acting. I can 100% be shitty at acting. I
A million percent. It's what I do all the time.
it's really
That's what it feels like.
you know when you're like, I don't think I could get any worse, and then you watch a self-tape back and you go, oh shit, how did I regress? Wow. Okay.
That's awful. It's I think that's why they say like you're supposed to like delete your self tapes, but I will tell you, I have almost another hard drive dedicated. I
I think
keep
it's
all my self
important.
tapes. I
Well,
don't
because
delete them.
also when I book something, I go, how? Because I literally, there are times I book something and I see that self tape and I go, that was a shitty self tape. Was there just no competition for this? What is the deal? I don't actually realize that what I think is a shitty self tape was exactly what they were looking for, and that's what the role is. It's very weird.
The You had somebody on just recently who was a casting associate, I believe,
Oh, Tanu?
and she the little clip
Oh,
that you had was like, what you think about your performance is none of their business, right?
yeah.
So you got to play that game, that confidence game, and I
Confidence
think
is key.
it's really worthwhile, especially because I feel like I think that's something that I definitely lack. Like I feel like I'm the first one to call out my own shit, because for someone else to call it out to me feels like humiliation and embarrassment and shame. It's like, oh, you don't know that you're a piece of shit? Oh, no. Oh, I know I'm a piece of shit. Piece of poop. Am I allowed to say shit? You
Yeah,
get
there's
it.
some F bombs that I usually drop, so get excited. Yeah.
But yeah, but I think it doesn't help you. It doesn't serve you. Nobody wants to hear it. It tastes bad. Like, don't do that. Like, so I think over the pandemic especially, I've really been so much more forgiving about my performances. So now I'm kind of the opposite. Whereas before, I would look at a self tape that I couldn't do anything about
Yeah.
and be really vicious. But in the last, like during the pandemic, since I just I kind of really go, why wouldn't you hire me? That was
Ooh.
that was a great take. Like I did the best that I could do in the time that I had and the preparation and the heart that I gave it, and I'm like, wow, that totally must have been like they wanted a white person, they wanted a thin person, they wanted somebody more Asian, they wanted somebody Chinese, they thought I was Chinese and they wanted somebody Korean. Like like I just assume that it's factors outside of my scope of being able to do anything about it.
Yeah.
That is how I'm now approaching not booking, and not booking like a lot. I have like, I don't know, but not between you and me, but whatever, but like I have worked the least this year since I started since I had an agent. Oh no, that's not true. The first year that I had an agent, I did so many auditions, but I didn't get a call back. I didn't book a job, nothing. And then with my next agent, I auditioned so much. I booked a crap ton. I got so much experience on set, and it was really great. And then last year, right? The year before was not great, and then but what I'm finding is now that I've become ACTRA, the quality of my auditions are different,
I was gonna ask you that. Okay.
right? So like from the beginning of being with my agent now, it was, Korean grandmother. Like that's
Right.
the role that I booked. The first
Okay.
one of the first mega roles that was a mega role for me. And but now it's like, oh, I'm reading for people with names. Bridget, Connie, like, so it's like
Ooh.
I'm
I see you as a
moving.
Connie.
I
I
am.
do. I do.
She's mean.
Really? Ooh.
Um,
Actually, you know what? I wasn't sure if I could see you mean. I saw you in, what's the Everyone's Mad They Have Kids show? Kids Are Bad. Kids Are...
Ruin Everything.
Yeah, they...
Yeah.
But you were an amazing judgmental nurse. I felt so much shame watching that, and I go, oh my God, she's too old to have a child. It was great. It was great to watch. It was a good, I hope that's on your demo. I feel like it is.
Yeah, I have it. It's so weird. Demos are so weird. Like, I think I'm supposed to, like, put them together and edit them myself, and I feel... I don't know. That's like one of those like things as an actor. It's like your calling card. You're supposed to have all this stuff done. And I'm like, I don't know how to do it. And I feel like I'm
done.
I'm like, this?
I don't.
Look at me.
Here's the thing. I get the point of having a demo because it's like, here's stuff I've done. Here's the gist of me. Because seeing a headshot versus... seeing someone on screen is completely different in my opinion.
100%.
But I feel like, this was the struggle I had, like the footage I have now, or the footage that I'm trying to put together, it still doesn't necessarily represent who I am or what I can do, you know?
Yeah.
So I get the need for people to film scenes outside of class and be like, this is what I can do, even though I'm not booking these roles, even though I've never booked these roles or even auditioned for them. And
yeah, that's what I've been talking to my agent about that, where it's, because there's like, he thinks that I'm kind of in this gap where what I can do versus what I've done and been able to do, there's a gap there. I can do more than the body of work that I've done, which is so far like, 2 little parts, day plays in a TV show. And I'm waiting for 2 TV shows next year where I still day played, but it was like more substantial, more meaty.
They sounded like good roles, Esther. That was cool people you got to work with.
So yeah, so and now I'm finding like, having to, I never thought of myself as anything but an actor. And as I talk to and see more people, it's like more actors, it's like you have to be a hyphenate. You can't just act, right? So it's forced me to really stretch and grow and produce very terrible writing.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for your self-tape perils. That's...
Like, I wrote a few little scenes to film with my husband. I haven't filmed them yet.
I wanted you to be like, I filmed it, Robyn, and remember I said you could watch it? Well, you can't because I filmed it.
No, if I can get my stuff together, and because I have to show my house, like take pictures of my house.
Oh yeah, I see that.
My house.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I have to do so much cleaning.
It is. That's if I didn't have this little section of my condo, just kind of, this is the window chat. Oh God, I don't know. I don't know what I would show. Like,
seriously,
this is the safe zone. There's a window. No one touched this area, and then the rest is fair game. Okay.
Well, my husband's like, we're writing these tiny little micro scenes together, and he's literally describing what our kitchen looks like. So he's like, kitchen, a family dwelling, very cluttered, lots of expired food. So it's all
that's great.
Part of it,
that's
right?
So funny. But that makes it real, right? You go, oh my gosh, who is your set dresser? Laziness.
Moi. And my children who never put anything away.
Oh my God. And well, how's the puppy dog? What is
Sudsy? He's great. I love him and I hate him, and he's stuck with us.
Part of the family. The love-hate relationship, that's family right there.
For sure. Yeah, he's great.
Do you not wear your wedding ring?
I do not.
Okay, because I don't either, and someone called me out on that recently, and I thought, well, I wore it on set on the weekend, and it just kind of flew everywhere. And I thought, well, this is the only piece of jewelry I own, so I've got to resize it. but why don't you
Yeah.
wear yours? You don't want to? You know you're married?
I don't want to. For a long time, it was because of my kids, and I
Oh, yeah.
scratched one of them on the face.
Oh,
The
gross.
first one.
Ugh.
And he was a baby because I was breastfeeding, right?
Oh.
And in moving around, I scratched his face, and I was like, bye! Not worth it. So
Gosh.
I don't even wear a band. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't.
No, I was just curious. I was just looking, and I'm like, because I realized I wasn't wearing it, because I keep saying I'm going to, and I'm like, whoops.
Oops. Single today.
It's not intentional.
But you're still like.
No, okay.
What?
I'm still trying to figure out, like, I always joke, part of why I keep doing these window chats is because I hate, like, I could live in pajamas all the time. So it, like, forces me to look half decent at least once a week. I got to put on the hair and makeup, and I'm experimenting with how to do my hair. It's a very confusing notion.
I love it. I love the way it looks today, actually.
You know what? It's got like a nice bounce. I got on the whole Dyson Airwrap train. I know we got a pretty good deal. We like deals. My husband found a very good deal. It was through Shoppers Drug Mart. I was going to say keep it on the DL, but this is public. So whoever watches Esther's will know that if you have Shoppers Optimum points, you can cash in some points.
Okay.
And it was like a redeem event, so then you get money back for buying something. And I'm like, whoa, we didn't make money, but it was a lot cheaper.
Like, what Shoppers are you going to?
I know. Yeah, guys, I'm starting an air wrap scam. So it's going to be a pyramid scheme. I'd be so bad at that. I was joking with another guest. Like, the notion of me selling commercials and selling is so I can't do it because I'm like, you either want this product or you don't. Not my problem, And it's so like, hey, have you tried this? I don't know. But on the flip side, if I do a commercial and it's well written, then I start buying that product. Because it's such a well-written commercial, I go, oh my God, how was I living without this? Even if I don't book it, I'm now a customer for life.
Okay.
So I think...
Totally.
I
auditioned for something, and I was like, can I say what the product is? Does it matter? It's long gone. I did not book it.
I feel like we can. Let's find out.
Okay. So, I don't know how in trouble I can be.
Okay, so then maybe I don't want you to get in trouble.
I can't imagine me being in trouble for this.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
When I tell you, you're going to be like, you're not going to get in trouble for that.
Yeah, I'll probably say that.
Okay. It's for the McCain Deep and Delicious Cakes, but single serving sizes.
Oh.
Although I think of the tin as a single serving size.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, how much smaller is it then? Like a little.
But it's like little teeny tiny, like this instead of a normal person size, which is like this.
Well, so then I just have 3 of those. The small servings
so that you can
bother
lie
me.
to yourself. It's so you can lie.
It's so they can charge more for a smaller size. That's what that is.
No.
Okay.
Not that.
No, not at all.
But now I started looking for it in the stores.
And now everyone will be looking for it. Yes.
That would be amazing. Because I instead of eating one of something,
but then you don't have to share too, right? Excuse me, this is my single serve. Ooh, is that the commercial? No. Bye.
But it was a fun
Actually, you know what? I say that. I could be really good in a commercial if I don't have to share things. And if I don't have to eat them. And if there's no cats or dogs. Or babies.
Children or babies. Or children and babies.
Children with babies. They're starting young. They changed the rules and it's affecting a lot of people. Okay, that got dark. And we bring up abortion. And we move on from there.
I'm for it. Sorry.
Okay.
I just want to get that out there. I'm for it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Woman's choice.
You're for kids with kids? Oh, okay. You're for abortion. Got it.
Yes. Okay. I am 100%. Oh no, that's too much. But yeah,
like if it ever happens to me, okay.
I'm for it. I'm for it for you. I'm for it for me.
Thank you.
I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying.
I know, but I'm just
if you want
picture.
to.
Can you imagine if I was like wondering if I should call you, and I go, who can I call if I'm wondering if I should get one? And be like, and now I want everyone to call you. Esther's gonna push abortions.
I'm not pushing abortion. I'm saying that if you want it, I'm here for you. I will come with you. I will drive you. You need a milkshake after, because that's a choice you make. I'm here for that.
I need a single serve.
I will get you pads. You need a cake. You need a single serve cake. I will bring you single serve cakes. I'm here for it.
Yeah. I know we joke about it, but like it really is. There's so much, not even just when it comes to abortion, but there's so much that people go through that they don't share when it comes to like that whole, I know I always talk about the pelvic floor because, 5 years of fingering people for a living, it's a thing.
Yeah,
but
I'm into it.
I'm always fascinated by what people go through and how they cope before seeking help or asking for advice, because there's so much shame around an area. Right? Or
100%.
And like the notion of shame and hindering people from being able to have a quality of life, I don't have enough words to express how I wish we could just normalize so many things that are taboo in society.
Agree. 100% agree. What can you do, right? I think that you just make yourself available to people who you think might need it, right? What else can you do?
And I feel like that's part of why, as artists, I go, and that's always why I go, okay, I'm doing these casual comedy stuff, but why don't I feel comfortable sharing more stories and sharing more like deep, when you see these artists and they go, oh yeah, that's an artist, they're sharing, they're opening, and they're getting deep with it, and they're exposing themselves, not in that way, but in the,
I think you do so much about that with your I cannot say it enough. Let's get fingered. Let's all get fingered.
Oh my god.
Please all get fingered.
Oh my god, some of the other day.
If both men and women got fingered.
Look, I treated men and women and anyone that identifies as either or.
But like that show, I think, really pushes taboo and boundary, and you say,
I don't feel like it,
things on that show that if I did not know you, and if it wasn't explicitly obvious that it's
hashtag comedy, yeah,
parody satire,
yeah,
but I think it's I think that is where you've gone from those self-tape chronicles to that. It's massive. It is massive. And I think I know that guy. I think.
Oh, Tim?
I don't know him personally, but he is a Vic kid from York, I think. Because Rick knew who he was. My husband, Rick.
Tim Rose, comedic gem.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's amazing.
But so funny.
I
also was joking too. I'm like, does it say something about me that the only person that I can create comedy with has cerebral palsy? Like, we were kind of, does it say, because he's like, he always jokes that he doesn't have like full use of his brain, and I'm like, is that the only person that's able to connect with me? Is that what happened? It's the only person I'm willing to work with consistently. Okay,
you couldn't tell that he had full use of his brain with the banter. He's coming for your neck.
So funny. And the stuff that I couldn't share because I'm like, it's too much.
I would love to. You should have like a B-side, like
that. I really thought we were showing all of it, and I've already. And it's also there's a lot. Yeah, there's but also the clips do way better. No one watches the full thing. So I was talking to him the other day because we were trying to do yet another spin-off of whatever this is. And I actually shared this story recently where it just wasn't working. And we tried to include more of our Second City people. And we're like, it's not working. It's not funny, which was so hard for me to not continue a project. But like, I know there's more to it. And I'm just scared, like, how far we'll take this to, because my goal isn't to offend.
Of course not.
And I understand that people really like getting mad and having an enemy, whatnot. And there was a point where I had shared something and people were getting so upset. They started like commenting on all my photos on Instagram and like writing. So I took down a ton of photos. I put the gist of them back up, but they were like writing these comments and then sending me messages, and it was getting, whatever. I ignore, and I didn't take offense.
Yeah.
Mostly, well, at first my husband loved the one that I shared, the first one that I shared that did, in my opinion, well, because like anything over 50,000, I go, people are watching this. So it was something like
for me.
True. I mean, that's like, I think like because
broken. Like that.
There was one I got that's funny. That's funny. But there was one that I did and it got 10,000 views. I thought, oh my God, nothing's better than 10. So when one hit 50, it was, what was it? Something about saying good morning. Or, like, don't.
That's a good one.
Right? Yeah, that one to me.
Good morning. Like,
I know. Like, that to me, but I always, there was some truth to it, just to, like, the backstory of that being, I worked at a place, I didn't say good morning to someone, and they lost it on me, so it was really funny. And I thought, I have to write this. So that was my kind of, I'm writing this, it's cathartic, but also so ridiculous, because it's good morning. Let people have their space. People are very touchy with good morning. Some of the people. So I just couldn't figure out how to do it. I've been trying, like, this has been one of those things in the back of my head, and when I was riffing with Tim, and I'm like, Tim, I'm putting in something about good morning. And then we wrote it, I released it. It got so much hate.
Really?
Because, I got a lot of hate. People didn't know it was comedy.
So funny.
People got so, because first off, it's me and Tim. Tim had in a wheelchair, cerebral palsy. He only has use of like 2 of his fingers. And they're going, how dare this privileged Karen say that good morning bothers her when he's in a wheelchair? And I'm like, yeah, no, I get that. That's the joke. But it's just the way that people are receiving the comedy, to me, is the comedy.
Yeah.
And like, because I know, how people have those videos where they just read the comments. I go, I can't even read some of these comments, because Mike read them and he goes, oh, some of the comments were, I feel bad for whoever she's with. She's probably just like a crazy cat woman, or is like the worst person to be around. And Mike goes, they understand me. He's like, they feel my pain. She's really hard to live with.
I kind of love your husband, actually.
Oh, I love him. I love him so much. Oh my God.
Like,
I do.
That is the right man. That is the right vibe. He totally passes the vibe check, 100%.
It's the comedy. Like, it's because I say stuff and he has to reel me in. There was one time I was making this, he just tells me, not everything has to be funny. Not everything needs a comment. It's hard for me because I do feel the need to social commentary my way through life. But it's a weird coping mechanism of life is crazy and I'm going to dialogue it. And
yes.
What it is.
You need to fill that space for sure.
No, I really appreciate you saying that, because I spoke to someone the other day and they're like, I don't get it. And I go, that's fair. I don't really get it either. But you know what? People are watching it, and like, why wouldn't I keep making content for things that people are watching? It's weird. So
think about like some of the most notorious comedians there are, though. Like, I think about like, Joan Rivers, rest in peace.
True.
Right? She was the scariest woman, like, and so hilarious. And did not shy away from going after men or going after other women. And like, I feel like this is your like prologue. All of this stuff, good, bad, neutral. Better to be good or bad than neutral.
It's true. You know what? It's true. That's what it was honestly just the first day. I posted it. I went for a walk. I'm like, because none of my reels were doing well. I'm like, oh God, I have content till January. I'm going to share it because I committed to it and it's on IMDb. So I will share it. But I come back and I go, oh my God, people watch this and they either love it or hate it. And it's a very interesting polarization right now. But
that's good though. Loving and hating is, I mean, it's sad to say, but it is true where it's like there's no such thing as bad publicity, right?
true.
So I think the thing that resonates with you for me is how much you enjoy it and how much
that's true.
Like, you know what, like if you're digging it, even though you say this stuff like, oh, I have all this comment, you know, this content, da da da, and like you sort of downplay it a little bit, but I feel like in the moment when you're doing it, you're giving it 100%. I know you. I know that of you anyway. I know that you're like, I'm giving this, I hate this, I hate myself, I hate you, I hate what I'm doing, I hate the lighting, whatever, but you're still giving it. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Oh god, the audio was so bad. But yes, it's we figured out. Yeah, it's true. No, you're like, very right.
You're 100% into it. You're 100% doing it, right?
Yeah, I just thank you for you're a very supportive person. I appreciate you because I think it's really hard to be objective at times, especially when I create something and there's people that are just like, what are you doing? It's so weird. And that's fair. I also am a weird person, like in my own way. I have my little quirks. That's known. I think
Yes.
Yeah. No, I'm not offended. Yes, I am. I leave voice messages that are insane. I shared someone, I left. Okay. I will say the story publicly because it actually isn't insane. I don't know why I did it. I have finished stand-up. I know why I did it. I finished a stand-up routine and I was working a bunch on my stand-up. And then I saw it was this random agent's birthday. And I don't know why I have him on Facebook. And I thought, this is so weird. I don't know why I have him on Facebook. Do I wish him happy birthday? So I send him a message, like a private message on Facebook. I say happy birthday. And then I leave what is the weirdest voice message ranting like, why do we have each other on Facebook? This is so weird. I don't understand. Like, honestly, psychotic.
With that agent?
I've never met him. I'm like, why are we friends?
Do
I wish you happy birthday? I left a voice message. I left an actual voice message. It's the craziest voice message I've ever left for anyone in my life. And I also said, feel free to unfollow me. This is weird, but I also will be using this for comedy. So thank you for inspiring a sketch. It was crazy. So I'm paraphrasing, but it was nuts.
Respond?
No, that's fair.
That's a shame. What a miss.
I know, but I'm like, you know what? Like, if he dug the vibe, we could have worked together. But also, it was I leave voice messages. That's what I do.
So you made content based on that, where it's like, why do you like? What is your focus of you liking? You know, these. That's
part. Exactly. Like, why do you like it? I don't understand why you like things if it seems creepy, right? Like. Exactly. The whole why did you... And that's why people messaged me after that one. It didn't do well per se, but I think it resonated with people to be why do I like casting directors' posts? Why do I like these random agents' posts of like people I've never met in person? It's so creepy. It's so weird.
It's like weird.
Oh my God. I love your dog that I've never met. Like, I feel gross knowing so much about someone I have never met in person or spoken to. And yet I feel compelled to follow them and learn about them. And it's weird when it's like, I joke in a way, and I'm very grateful that people watch my window chats. I am. And I always forget how much I share. Because, you know, I don't see myself as a sharer. There's a lot of things that I like to keep to myself, like certain, you know, certain things I'd like to not tell people, but really I probably have shared way too much of my life. But when people know that about me and then they like meet me in person, they go, oh my God, hi. And I've never met them. It's so interesting to me because I'm like, oh my God. And then I feel guilty for not knowing them because I'm like, oh my God, you took the time to watch. Like, what are you doing? How can I support you? What is your name? First question. Like, what is it?
Do I know you?
Do I, have we met? Because honestly, there are times where I know their face and I'm like, wait, I don't know if we've spoken. You know, where you're like, have I just creeped you on social media or have we actually spoken? Where are we at now?
Yeah. This is the day and age where it's like, it's weird. Because like I said, I'm pretty good with faces and names. So if I recognize you out in public, and we follow each other, but we've never met. I'm coming for you. Hey! You don't know me! How's the
Oh my
kids?
God.
How's your dog? Did your surgery go okay?
Oh my God, yes. Well, okay, but in your defense, if you don't want people to know about the surgery, then don't fucking share it, okay? It is super fucking weird to see all this stuff, and then you'd be surprised, like, why do you know that? You shared it publicly. I will find this information. It's actually not hard. There's so many people that it's not hard to find information on. It's a quick Google search, and I go, that's what popped up? Whoa, okay.
Do you remember
Overshare.
We had this conversation where we do like to stalk people. Like, I need to know information about something. And
It's politely research. It's research.
Yes. Like deep dive researching on stuff that is none of my business.
If it's out there, it's fair game.
Yes, fair. True.
I create narratives with things I post online now. Like, here's my timeline that I think I've created, and you'll never know my real timeline. So, here is the fake timeline to this journey.
You'll never catch me!
Oh my God, Esther, this is a funny sketch.
What?
Like, people sitting around just talking about, like, oh my God, like, talking about different people they've creeped without making it weird, you know?
Oh, I think the term should be then you are talking about, I don't know who this is, but they did this and they did that, and the other person realizes it's them.
Oh my God.
And then they like created a fake account just to torture this person.
Oh, that's funny. Ooh.
I'm like, wait, that's me. Oh, that got really dark. Sorry.
No, but there's something very... That's like a horror movie short. Something with... It's just... Nowadays, with being able to know so much about people... It's like, here's... Okay, actually, I will take it back. I think it's knowing what people are willing to share. And if people are willing to share it, it's hard to, like, for them to be surprised that you know this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very that.
Is that weird? Okay.
I
think this might... Okay, also, I'm just saying, I'm not editing this part out because I love how creepy we sound. I have never owned up to how creepy I am as a human. I do say I'm creepy, but I say, like, in a research, healthy way of...
I think it's, it's just curiosity, right? Like, and you just go down a rabbit hole where you're like, 2016, Christmas, you got a cat.
Yes.
So cool.
But sometimes, you know what? Sometimes when I'm doing my little search, diving, that was a dive, and then I got up for water. It was didn't take a good breath. But
so much information.
Yeah, I'm still like the swim instructor in me. Front crawl. Okay, anyways. Oh my God, I love chatting with you.
What?
I will say, when I do a deep dive on someone and I own it, I try and also help them. Like when I was doing whatever self-tape pearls with you and I go, hey, Esther, I did a deep dive. Where's your IMDb? Get an IMDb. I'm upset at you. Please.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like a helpful creep sometimes. Or if I'm like, hey, I was just checking out your website. There's a typo. Fix it. Thank you.
Oh, you know what though? About that IMDb thing, I think you created one for me.
Oh, that's funny. Did I really?
You might have, and now I'm stuck with this thing, and a producer was trying to tag me in something, and they tagged that.
No, I didn't. Okay, I didn't create it. There was a credit you had for, like, Wishful Genie or something. What was it? I'm actually never...
No, I know what it's for.
You know what I'm talking about? Okay.
Yeah. Not even close.
Okay.
So great, I can't wait to tell you what the actual title is. Hold on to what you said. I think it's called Where's Ginger? Or maybe it's like who's Ginger, but it
Okay.
definitely has not a genie.
Oh my god. Oh my
It's
god.
not
Then there's
wishful.
someone else in the Self-Tape Perils that had something related to a genie. Or no, maybe it is. Genie and the Ginger's a genie. That's what happened. The Ginger's a genie.
You know.
I gave away the
fine.
plot. It's
Yeah,
that's the
you
turn.
spoiled it. You wrecked it for a whole audience.
All Gingers are genies. There you go.
You wrecked it. Can't work with you anymore.
The next person I
God.
chat with that's a redhead, I'll be like, hey, are you a genie? You won't understand the reference. Okay. You didn't watch Esther near the 1 hour mark while we were going off?
Oh my
the weird-
God.
Yeah,
How
that's
long
what
are we gonna
happens.
go for? Is that for
I don't
real?
know. We can end now. We can do some parting words of wisdom, but
I don't have any words of wisdom.
that's genius.
How long do you do this for?
How long do I do it for? I don't know. This is only like my third pre-recorded podcast. Usually Instagram would cut me off at the 1 hour until it didn't. Very weird. So
Yeah, the last one was like a hour and 30 minutes or something, right?
I
Is that
know.
what
He was lovely though. I get
He's
sucked
so
in.
fun.
Oh my god. There are people. Okay, again, love at first voice message. That's why I leave them. It's a test. Anyone that gets a voice message and doesn't read, like, if I'm not your vibe, I'm not offended. Like, how long have I been in this industry? I started doing the math. It was sad. And I started doing the math based on my Facebook memories that I got. And I go, oh god, that film was that long ago.
Oh my
How
God.
many more films can I do until I finally book a real one? It's a lot of student films.
Well,
It's a
you
lot.
just did one recently, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a student film. It was a
The one where you have all with the family and the
it was a student film, and
cool.
initially I thought like it was such a diva moment. I'm like, ugh, student film. It was terrible. I would never think don't ever think like that because that role was so fun. I have never gotten to play that evil a mom in my life, and I love it. Like, this is my new genre, is if you want evil mom.
Okay.
Hi.
Okay.
What's up?
Okay. Maybe not to include this, but so you know how I'm writing this. Maybe not to include it,
Heart.
but
Okay.
so Rick and I told you Rick and I are like writing this series,
Okay.
and there's a role that I'm sort of writing with you in mind. And it's so like we're almost done writing all of the arcs. So we have like an A, B, C arc for 10 episodes. It's only one episode.
Nice.
It's only one episode that you'd be in. Well, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But the role is, and I don't want you to be offended because you said evil mom, right?
Oh, I'm very good at being evil.
Bridezilla.
Oh, my dream. I love Bridezillas. They're
Really?
horrible.
You are like
Oh,
a terrifyingly
oh my god.
horrible Bridezilla.
Esther. So fun. I love those roles where you can be a horrible human on camera. Oh, give me all the roles. Give me all the roles.
Right? So
Get lit up.
good. But yeah, I was like, because we're not talking about like, we're not really talking about it because we've only like written one episode. We've just finished writing all of the arcs and stuff, and it's like, I don't know. You know how if you talk about something too much with other people, I don't know. It's like sometimes you just don't do it, right?
Will this force you to do it?
Yeah.
Because we've spoken.
Well, because I already know what you're gonna be doing. You're gonna be a maniac.
Oh my god. I love it.
But
Actually, though, thank you for even thinking of me. Because I can't, no matter how many times I audition for Hallmark Happy, I can't bring authenticity to that. I bring angry, I bring crazy. That is who I am. I'm owning it now. I bring a little Karen, a little, yeah, like I will stab, like, here you go, I did my hair and makeup, you don't think I'm gonna kill you, stab in the back.
This is the thing. You look a really specific way. You look really, like, you're beautiful and you look kind and the
Stop
big
it.
eyes and all that nonsense, yada,
The
yada, blah, blah.
contacts.
But, hard edge. Nice.
It's the bangs, isn't it?
It's, I don't know. It's, I think you also are good at, if we're talking like technically, like acting wise, you're good at turn. Like
Ooh,
you're
I
good
love
at
a
going.
good turn.
You know what I mean? Like, you're really
I
good
do.
with the term. You're good
Oh
at
my
you're good on
God.
the string,
Oh
right?
my, I was just rewatching something I filmed recently and I'm like, oh, that was really funny and crazy. I was proud of that. I'm like, yeah, I did like a whole laughing cry thing. That was not bad. I buy that. Okay, is that what I'm selling? But you know what's so funny, Esther? Thank you for saying that. And again, like, just for, like, I appreciate when people see what I'm trying to do and like where the characters I want to do. For you, I always, like, I could just film your face and you tell a story with your eyebrows. Like, your facial expression. I watch a commercial, I see you, even if you have no lines, I see the story. Like, it is just, you can't teach that. It is just Esther right there. That is Esther. Like, it's so, and not saying that dialogue, have I seen you? I've seen you in commercial with dialogue, but like the Esther commercials where it's just like the eyebrow raise, I can't do it. I can't.
You opening your eyes really wide.
No, yeah, that's.
I don't think I've ever seen you make that face before.
I've never tried to. You do that? Wait, didn't you do a one eyebrow raise? What did you do for me? Where I'm like, can I get a raise of an eyebrow? I don't remember. That's so creepy. Yeah, there's.
Gonna do it.
You did like the one and the other. Like, yeah. There's just so much happening, and I go, that's a skill. I don't know if it's on your resume. It should be. It's great.
You know, maybe.
You're very. I know you're funny and I know you're talented, but then when I see you, even in The Boys, you were on the elevator.
Oh my God.
Like one line, honestly, one line, and I was dying. I'm like, no one else could have played this but Esther. It was just epic. And I loved it.
Honestly, I love every day that I'm on set. I don't get very many of them. I love them all so much, but this one was so fun because of all of the shooting on my face.
What did they use?
All of the they used beet juice, like mixtures and corn syrup mixtures. It depended on the viscosity, it depended on the dripping, it depended on the like falling on the floor, like the spatter, if they wanted like a fine misting of blood versus like a shooting across my cheek so it would go up my nose. Like but you know what gets rid of fake blood really effectively?
I was gonna ask you. I don't know. Yeah.
Shaving cream.
Oh.
So they had like 3 ladies basically coating me in shaving cream.
Right.
To reset. We shot from 12 till 12. That's that elevator scene.
That's crazy.
Because they had to do me, they had to do him, they had background. It was leading into another scene from another scene.
Oh, right. Okay.
So it was long. It was so much fun. The director was amazing. So kind. Everybody, like, it's like, I honestly haven't been on a set that was like terrible. That was like a really big set. Some of the this is tea. Some of the like the non-union sets. But really, some of the non-union sets, like, people can be mean. Some of the crew can be like, I guess mean is not an accurate word. They don't care about you.
Well, okay, but you know what? Here's the thing. I don't know how often you've worked behind the scenes, but I really want to learn more about the industry, and I worked behind the scenes, honestly, on one short. I was so tired. I was like, it was nonstop. We're setting up the shot, then we're setting up the next shot, then the lighting, then we're moving it. No, the lighting's not working. Let's take it down. Let's reset it here. It is so much work. I can't even tell you what the actors' lines were. I don't know what was done. I just know where I needed to be and what I needed to do. And it was it's so funny how as actors we think, oh my God, everyone's judging us and maybe I didn't hit It's like, no one cares. Just do your bit because so much else is going on.
Truly.
Woo!
Yeah. I can see that. I remember being on one set and it was tense. It was super tense. They were already
tense. I thought you meant like there's tents, and I'm like, what
no,
is this? Okay.
Sorry, no. Like it was like.
Are you afraid of the dark?
It was the environment felt really intense, and all the actors were trying to like do their best, and like, you know, there were lots of lines for this commercial for some reason, and the people, like, we weren't allowed to walk on this, and it was kind of like, it was the end of 2020, so COVID was at its height, right?
Okay. You filmed this one during, okay.
Yeah, it was during COVID, so like December of 2020 is when I shot it, and like we couldn't wear our we had to have booties on our shoes, so some poor PA had to be on the ground putting on our shoes, putting on our like the you know those like they look like hair nets but for your feet.
Yep.
So that we wouldn't get our shoes on the floor because it would dirty it. It was just so much activity. But like, I think, I don't know if you'll agree with me, but a lot of the tension, it's like, it comes from the top down. It feels like if the director's super tense, maybe the clients are super tense. So
yeah, I never know when it is a tense set. I never know because sometimes the clients can be really demanding and then change their mind. Or there was one commercial I did and the clients just kept having additional ideas and things they wanted done.
Yeah.
But they don't understand that you can't just keep the camera roll. You have to set up the shot.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of time. So if there's a miscommunication like that, and then the client's not getting what they want, and then, you know, the director's upset because, well, like everyone's upset really, because everyone wants to do no one goes, okay, I booked this and I want to do a shitty job. No, no one wants that.
Nobody wants to do that.
Yeah.
We all want to do an amazing job, but
can you imagine if people communicated effectively? Like how great a product, when I see a product or when I see something and I go, wow, everyone looks like they were having fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just makes me happy knowing that everyone had a good experience. And I think if I ever was, you know, really behind the scenes directing, I would want everyone to feel valued. I don't think if someone's on a set, no matter what their role is, I think it's of value, because you could do anything you want and you chose to be here today to be part of this. 100%. And I think it's important to acknowledge no matter what anyone's role is.
Agree.
And because, you know, I understand there's a hierarchy of roles, whatnot, but everyone is still,
everybody's so valuable, you know?
Just like, you know, if you're on a set and there's a lead and they're this big name, whatever, and they turn out to be a nice person, you know, they come in with no ego. I love that.
Yeah, true.
You know, it's because what's the point? Right?
No,
it's not like you woke up and you're this person right away. Everyone's had to work to get to where they are. Just similar to, you know, this big time director. You had to work your way up there. That being said, if they had bad experiences along the way, maybe they're like, well, it's my right to treat people this way. And that's their choice. But, you know, the whole notion of treat people how you want to be treated goes a long way. And I remember the people that when I was talking with Tanu, I still to this day remember that I was trying to be an extra because I wanted to learn what this extra thing was. This was years ago. Mm-hmm. And I still remember that director treating everyone on set. Like, the extras are not treated well, but like valuing everyone, thanking everyone for their time, checking in with everyone. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What? No one does that. But when they do, it's so special. And I wish that it was more of the norm. Not saying you have to be, okay, cool, what's your Instagram? Let's be best friends kind of vibe.
Yeah.
You know? But just making people feel important because they don't have to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, sorry. Do you
No, that's okay. I was like, oh my God. And off my soapbox.
I don't know. I feel like some of the bigger sets had really amazing leadership. Like,
makes a difference. Yeah.
Like all of the day play roles, the TV shows that I did, the leadership was super strong. like so kind, didn't have to talk to me, didn't need my input certainly. And I remember one director, like, well, a few of them, but one in particular that, like, it was before the take, we had just done a rehearsal, and they were like, what do you want to see in this? I was so startled by the question. I literally was like, what do you mean? Like, why are you asking me? You tell me. I was so taken aback by the question. I was unprepared. You know what I mean? And so, which actually kind of led me to think, oh, I should have more of an opinion when I'm coming to set. Because I'm so used to being told what my opinion is, or what the goal of the scene is, you know?
It's hard though, because if you come in with a really strong opinion and it is a completely different vision, it's hard to pivot.
Right? Exactly that. It's so, like, I remember for something that I did a self-tape. It was this.
Yep.
I went on the set.
Oh my God.
I thought it was still this.
Oh.
And then they were like, no, opposite of this. And I'm like, say what?
So funny.
And then I found it so mechanically difficult to change. And that's not actually who I am as a performer. But I think it's because I'm like, this is TV and they want it like this. And they, you know, it was the first time my big lesson for that day was, do not be precious. Do not be precious with your work. Do not think you know what's happening that day.
Mm-hmm. True.
You just go with the flow. It could be actually the exact opposite of the direction that they want for whatever reason. It didn't work. When I'm standing there and the character's looking at me, it's like, oh, you're super hostile. You're not supposed to be hostile. Can you be a little nicer? I'm like, but this, the vibe is so different.
It's confusing though, especially if you practice it. And now what I'm trying to do is like practice it in a couple different ways, so I have options to pull from.
I do that too.
So I got into such a really, I couldn't take off a director-writer hat. I filmed a commercial last week, and I was going over the lines. I'm like, I want to rewrite this. And not saying the writing. I'm like, I think I know what the joke is, and I don't think we're getting there fast enough. And I mean, luckily the director was lovely, and he's kind of like, oh, we should shorten this. And I go, yes, 100%, I agree. I'm like, Robyn, that's not. You should have been like, great idea. Yes, never thought of that. Versus, yes, thank you. Let's fix this. Okay. And then can we set this shot up here? Amazing. It's so hard. I'm like, I could just be an actor today. I don't know what to do with this. I don't know. Like, do I have to edit this? Do I take it home and edit? And then no? Okay. Very confusing. Oh, but yes, don't be precious. Like have other opinions. Like if you think the role is going to be one thing, also be aware it could be a completely opposite thing, and also be aware that you could get cut out of things. I remember my friend telling me that they were so excited, and then they cut out the role, and I go, oh God, you know, when you have the screening with the family, and you go, where am I? Hello. Okay.
That happened for a commercial. That happened for like, I was asked to audition for the commercial because I had done something for that client in another commercial for the exact same brand. So they said, oh, we want her to come back. I auditioned, I book it, I film it, and then I get an email saying, I'm sorry, no residuals, because it was a union job. No residuals, no nothing. Thank you. You've been the whole entire role was cut. And I'm like, I remember sweating my ass off for that commercial. It was so hot that day, and we're in like some weirdo's house, and I'm hanging out in the basement with their wood paneling, and I'm like,
oh my God, this set. It's weird so when you film in someone's house. It is so weird when you film in someone's house and you go, people live here? Or the opposite. There was this one I filmed this week, and I go, oh my God, someone lives here. This no one should live here. It's a work of art. When you go and experience that and you go, I don't know where I am. We weren't allowed to take photos in case they were geotagged or whatnot, and that's fair.
Whoa.
But they had black toilet paper. Like the wife was a designer. All these rooms were meticulous. It was very interesting. I'm like, it feels
good idea.
It feels the same. It feels the same, just so you know. Didn't feel a difference. But visually, in the black toilet, it doesn't stand out. So there's a motif going.
Oh,
wait,
the whole thing is black?
Yeah, black toilet paper. Apparently you buy it on Amazon. I don't know, but yeah, there was I'm soaking this in. You know when you walk in somewhere and you go, I'm poor? That's what that house was. You go, I know what we pay for my condo. I will never, when you go somewhere and you go, I can never afford this. It's so weird. And you go, people live like that. Yeah. Oh my God, this is so fascinating to me as a case study of what is your life? You know, what is your morning routine? What do people do?
That's what I think. I'm like, what are you doing for a living that you can afford a house like this, and yet you're still renting out your house for likely $10,000-$15,000?
So it was the clients whose commercial we were filming for. It was their house, and it was so it's non-union. And I got told, so they're like, oh, okay, you're on the short list, whatever. Also, we're gonna pay you $50 less. And I'm like, you know what? Fine. I haven't done a commercial in a while. I know. It still wasn't the worst money I've made. But it's
a fucking Wild West. Sorry for swearing. I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine. It was just so funny because I'm like, okay, fine. And then I get to the house and I go, okay, the $50 was going to put you over the edge. Anyways, those are my thoughts. But
I would have been so pissed.
It was hard. I go, okay.
$50 is more to me than you. Like, why would you take $50 for my, like, anywho, that's fine. It's not fine, but.
Well, I think but if I didn't take it, and this is the desperate actor, right? If I don't take it, there's someone else that's going to take it. It's not as if, I'm going to take a stance. Yeah, you better pay us better. Grr. Because they're also, like the student film I shot as well. No paying. But that's also just experience, right? And working with different people and trying out different roles, and
and it's fun, hopefully, and
it was a really fun day. I had a great time personally. Anytime, I was a horrible human character.
Love it.
Yeah, it's just and someone had said to me, like, do the student films to play roles that you wouldn't book. And it was fun kind of walking away. Yeah. And like walking away because like I'm an age, but my husband was 42. I don't know if we would be married in real life. My kid was 18. I don't know if I would have given birth to him. It's fine.
As a toddler.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. I was young and needed the money. Anyways, but it was the chance to, when I did that role, because I really do like those kinds of roles, I walked away and go, okay, in the future, this is what I want to do. Or like or when I was doing, you do a couple takes, student films are more forgiving. And then like there was something I'm like, mimicking this is an interesting little thing I can add here, and like something I want to carry over the next time I do this kind of character. And like playing with different physicalities and different tones, and it felt so artsy. I'm like, even when the footage wasn't on me, I'm like, I'm just still gonna work on this role because I don't know, never knew what's gonna happen.
And put it in the back pocket for something else that you might be able to do it for, right?
What is your, I'm gonna end this because I know it's your whole day, but like what is your dream role? What did it, like, do you have that idea in mind, or
dream role?
Not even a character per se, like a certain personality you want to play.
Certain personality. Well, I feel like I'm kind of writing that right now.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
It's somebody who is my age.
Right.
But actually someone who's my age and a certain, level of, she's achieved a certain level of a success in her, designated profession. But maybe her home life hasn't caught up, or it's kind of been disrupted.
Okay.
Obviously, for me, if I'm gonna so I'm writing a sitcom, right? So I want to be the lead in a sitcom. and be surrounded by like an amazing cast. It's funny and it's political, but just sort of under the surface.
Oh, I love that.
You know, where it's not
that.
like, look, this or this situation in your face. You know, it's understood. Sort of like, you know how like Schitt's Creek, I don't know if you've seen the show.
I have. Am I allowed to not see the show as a Canadian? That's
fair.
I feel like there are times, like there's so many lows. When there's like a high, even, I don't know what to do with the high. Like last week was so weird that I had 2 things I booked. I can't even tell you the last time I booked 2 things in 1 week. I don't know if I actually ever did. And all I was doing was talking myself out of it. Well, I'm like, oh, it's still non-union. It barely pays. It's just student. Like, it was just such a negative week. It was so and then like, and now this week I'm like, oh my God, that was such a good week last week. I want to book more, you know? So it's just this, to have to be married to someone like that, that's just going on this emotional roller coaster on a weekly basis. It's hard. I don't know if you feel that way, but.
I don't know. My husband is like, we met acting. So
I thought so. Okay.
We went to university together and then we joined the same theater company. And
that wasn't Vanier, was it?
Yeah, that's Vanier College.
Oh, so that's how you know my cousin?
Yeah, the
Brian Goldenberg.
Yeah.
The Brian Goldenberg. Although, yes, his wife is my cousin. Whatever, everyone's cousins. It's fine.
Yeah, fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's always been super supportive. And I think he sort of thinks like, oh, if she gets in, I'm in.
Oh.
Right? Because, and it's true.
That.
It's true.
Yeah.
Because of course, like, I think he's the most talented actor I know. And I support all of his work, and I think he's a brilliant writer, and I think he's a brilliant director, and he would be a begrudging producer.
Oh my God. What do you mean? It's not thankless. Everyone loves it.
Oh.
People are lining her up around the corner. I'm getting volunteers to produce my
the person that has the most stakes and the least thanked job, I think if you're in the industry, you know. But if you're out of the industry, you don't really know what a producer does, right? So, but yeah. So, yeah, he's very understanding, actually. He gets it, but he's not the husband that's going to be like, well, that seems really hard. Maybe you should think about doing something else, you know, babe? Like, he's like, it's really hard. Should I make dinner?
Amazing.
Right?
Amazing.
Like,
yeah.
He's like, it is, he knows, like, that's just what it is. Right?
I think life is hard, right? Because I was talking to someone the other day about this too, where everyone that goes, oh, you're an actor, you're a creator, you're an artist, that's hard. What's your real job? That kind of thing. And you go, okay, well, I can tell you every clinic I worked at as a physio, and that was a dark time in my life. Like, it's not like one job is paradise, you know? It's that every job has its own problems.
So true.
And but if you're doing something that you love that's important to you, like I will work so. It's not that I wasn't working hard as a physio. I still, like, if I'm working, I'm going to do a good job. But I will love what I'm doing more, even if it's bitch work for acting, way more than when I was doing the physio. Yeah.
Oh, 1,000,000%. I will happily be on terrible sets for the eventual great set. Like,
well,
I've never been on a terrible set. I've never.
Yeah, that's like
never been on a terrible set. So there's that. Yeah. Oh, did I answer the question? I want to be a sitcom star. I know lots of people want to do movies, and I do want to do a movie. Would be a thing. Like, I'd like to be paid to be on stage. That's another goal of mine.
Oh, I love that.
I'd love to become equity.
Ooh.
I don't know when. I don't know how. I know it's in the books. That was my first love. I love being on stage. I love the hot heat of light on my face. You know what I mean?
Oh, like, God. I do. And I do. Here's the thing.
You've been on lots of stages though. Like you've done it.
I have. I did a lot of theater.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it till again updating the resume yesterday, and I go, oh my god, I forgot about that show. But I like, oh yeah, I remember that time. There was the year of like endless theater. It was great. It was great, but it's also I was so frustrated with the whole, oh sorry, couldn't see your show, you know, or the lack, and maybe it's, I don't know if it's, I don't want to sound arrogant, but not having archival footage of a show and being able to have something tangible that I can look back on, I don't. That being said, look, I know you do shoots, whatever, and I'm like, oh, I was really hoping they used this part when I said that, like, whatever.
Yeah.
But I like film because I found, I don't know if you find this, but I find with theater, I will learn it and I want to put it up and let's do it. But there were times when it's like, if I over rehearse it or overdo it, there was a time where it just kept getting worse. And I'm like disassociating from the character. I'm like, I don't know what I did to that character, but that was a crappy show. So yeah.
Oh no.
That's how I feel. Yeah.
I didn't do it enough. I didn't do it as much as you did. So, and I, not to get too political, but I don't know if you can tell, I'm an Asian fat lady, and I didn't book. It's hard for me to book the way I look. Am I the best Meryl Streep? I'm not Meryl Streep, but I think I do a good job, And there
did you like? Is it only theater? You don't do musicals, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Well, that's the you know what I mean? If you sing and dance, they'll put you somewhere in the show. Like that's really
just straight theater. Like
that's harder. That's a lot harder. I tried doing a couple shows that were straight theater because I wanted to know what life was like without bare aching into song and dance. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's more grounded. I don't like grounded. I like living in reality. No, in fantasy.
Yes.
Not reality. There we go. So I can see it being challenging, especially if there aren't any shows written, or not that many shows written for your type. We can go, by the way. It's like an hour and a half.
Girl.
Okay.
You are going to cut it, right? Like
what? No, I'm keeping this whole thing.
Are you serious? That's so long.
It is long, I know. But like, let's debate. Let's keep in the debate of us keeping the whole thing in. Actually, I usually end by asking my guests if they have any words of wisdom or any advice to share with the future generations of artists. I hate the question, as I always say, and yet I throw it to my guests consistently. So I wanted you to feel part of the Window Chats collective, if you will. Yes.
Okay. Have you officially asked me, or are you just telling me what you're going to ask me?
That was a rant. That was me asking a long-winded question of advice for the future. What generation are we on? It's not Gen Z.
I don't know. I'm not in that. I'm like old, so I was born in the 90s.
Maybe we're back at A. Generation A.
Isn't it like purple? I don't know. Generation.
Yeah, unicorn.
So sorry. The question was. What was the question?
It was just like words of wisdom, final thoughts. I could sum it up for you, but
words of wisdom regarding life or like acting in particular.
Honestly, choose your poison, your own adventure.
I don't know. I don't know. Do I have words of wisdom regarding acting? I feel like I'm still in the thick of it, right? I'm still at the beginning. So I feel like I've accumulated so much experience for me. But there's so much more experiences to have. I don't know, just if you love it, keep doing it. If you love it, keep doing it. I'm signing up for classes. I think that it's really important to sign up for classes. I think it's important to
go to classes, of course.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Girl.
Yeah, just sign up for all of them and then don't show up.
Just do it. Just, if you got money to burn, sign up for 1 million classes. Just to put them on your resume and do not attend any of them.
Yeah, that's how you do it. That's the secret they don't tell you in the industry.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know everything. That's a great attitude to have. I know
Yeah.
everything, and I know better than you.
Okay, I think if you
Amazing.
reach the point where you go to the classes and they're all saying the exact same stuff, then you got to stop.
I think I actually agree with that. When all of the advice starts sounding the same,
Yeah.
then I think you need a break from classes.
Yeah.
Right? I haven't taken an acting class, I think, in about a year. So it's time for me to go back for
It
sure.
shows. After you book some of the coolest gigs. Oh, God.
But you know what? That
so
actually
funny.
triggered me so hard too, because I was like, it's immediately funny because I know you're joking, but then I'm like,
oh my God. Please. I would kill to have some of the things you have on your resume. I would literally kill Bridezilla.
honestly, I'm honestly so excited about that with you. I'm so excited. Okay, yeah. Words of wisdom? Yeah, keep doing it. You love it, do it. Don't let anyone tell you what to do. There's no reason that I should have been. I think I booked a lot for someone like me, and there's no reason, I think, for me to be booked at all. Sometimes you know how you feel. You know how you can feel like not amazing.
You know what? It's interesting because I know how I feel when I book something, but when I hear other people say it, I go, "Are you insane? You are so talented." You know what I mean? Like when I hear someone saying my inner thoughts, I go, "You're crazy."
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Don't let jealousy get to you. I think that's another big one.
True. Like comparing yourself to other kind of thing.
Like people in your hit. Like I used to go through this thing where I would just see everybody in my head, and in the beginning, I'm like so supportive. I'm like, yeah, girl, get it. I'm in the comments, like, yeah, girl, get it. We're here for you. But after a while, it started to make me compare. And that's when I was like, you know what? I actually have not unfollowed. I have muted certain people's stories, certain people's posts, because while I really, in my heart of hearts, really want them to succeed.
Yeah.
I don't need to constantly see their success, because it isn't a reflection on me. But it's like, why am I going to re-injure something? Especially like there are stuff that people have booked in recent history that I was like,
yeah,
that hurts my feelings. And so I just stop their stories and their posts while they're kind of going through it, or they're going through, whatever, what's the word that I'm looking at, publicity or that kind
just
of stuff.
Sharing whatever
going
on their social media rampage of sorts.
I'm going to mute you for a hot second, and I'll come back, and I'm still like cheering for you, and that's great. Like I really don't mind, but my feelings are still hurt.
Yeah. You know what though? This is a really great point to bring up, because it is hard with social media. And I think it's not that if I don't like someone's post, or if I don't reach out to them, if I saw something, it's not them. I do genuinely want everyone to do well. Like I have learned that I'm only competing with myself, which is exhausting. I'm very competitive with myself. I never win. Never win. But if you need to take that time and you know that this isn't good for you, like it's so hard I remember feeling guilty for doing that. And I'm like, okay, but I have to prioritize myself versus someone else who I don't really know that well, that we're like kind of friends through network. Like
never met you. I've never met you.
And they probably don't even know you're doing it, but there's such an amount of guilt that I would feel if I did something like that. And I go, or I would just, not go on social media for a couple days and miss, a birthday. And then leave a weird voice message. No, but it's actually
money. I
want to know if I could save it and use that as like the weirdest voice recording ever left.
I gotta
figure that out.
Money.
But in all seriousness, I really think actors need to prioritize themselves. And
Yeah.
I know this is your chat, but I do want to share a story. I was really like, I go through like my emotions, but I struggle a lot. And there was this one time where I was like really not doing okay, and I wanted to support my friend's show so much, but I actually could not physically like leave the house. It was really bad. And I reached out to him and I told him this, and that was a hard conversation for me to just like even leave a voice message and say that. And he was just genuinely so understanding. And I think like for me, if someone doesn't see my show or doesn't see stuff that I'm posted, like I won't be upset, because I'd like to think that people like want to support for the most part. And so I think that's the kind of the message going on. Like if someone doesn't see your show, or someone's not able to watch your content or whatever, or like isn't able to talk to you for weeks on end, it might not be a reflection of you. It might be something that they're going through. So this notion of ghosting, like they just need that space. And it's hard because there are times where I'm like, I think I did something wrong when someone's not responding. But if we could all just kind of give people the space that they might need and not be able to express they need, I think that's super important going forward. So
100%.
That is my mental health rant for today.
No, I 100% agree. And I saw something recently where I think it's like part of the 4 agreements as well, where don't take anything personally.
Yeah.
Because
it's huge. It's so important.
I'm terrible at that as well. Like,
oh my God. I used to be the worst. Like I still kind of am, but not anymore. Now I'm just like, whatever. Okay. I don't have time.
Like I'm doing my best, and I try, and also so don't take things personally, and manage your own mental talk.
Ooh, your self-talk. Yeah.
Because I am the worst when it comes to talking to myself. Yeah. Nobody says the things that I say to me. Like I never hear them from other people. Like if you can do those things, you will have such a happier, maybe not happier, like a more a lighter load.
Yeah, load, for sure. You know? It's just hard because then I won't be able to do the roles that I'm really good at. But yeah, being happier. Finally book a Hallmark. But it's true though, right? Like being kinder to yourself, positive self-talk, everything that sounds so lame, and I never really gave it much thought. I'm like, stupid. But it's because I see how I talk to myself when I'm in a shitty mood is like that talk goes on to other people that are close to me, and that's not fair. You know? So it's just it goes into every area of your life. And what is the point of doing that? Like life you see people that are in terrible situations right now all over the world, not even gonna get into it, and you go you kind of take time to reflect and go, okay, like what am I actually, why am I not appreciating stuff? You know, you go maybe I should reprioritize things in my life right now, because as much as I think I have it bad, poor me, that I'm the worst, let's just kind of be grateful.
That's a perspective. Yeah. Let's take
a little shift.
Yeah. I don't believe in the self-indulgent, maybe occasionally, but like have a pint of ice cream, you know, binge watch The Office, then get off your duff and go. Like you can't stay there if you want things to change, right? Yeah. So But
that's what you're doing, right? And that's part of why I wanted you on the show. And I know everyone that I bring on, they're like, why? Because you're yes, you said you're not booking that much, whatever, but you're writing, you're trying, you're doing something to try and propel yourself forward.
Yeah.
And it's important for people to know that, like, you have to be your own advocate, create your own work. You have to, because I read something the other day, it was so dark, it was like, if you die, you can be replaced. I'm paraphrasing. But, you know, if you drop dead tomorrow, you're replaceable. No one cares. Which is kind of, you know what I mean? Like, you're on set and even if you get COVID, like, okay, they'll find someone to replace you, you know?
Oh, so, that was like you know about the show that I did.
Yes, right? I do. I wasn't going to say it. Yeah. It made me sad. Made me very sad.
I cried so much that day because all of the testing I did. I booked that show. I didn't even know it was coded because it was under so much secrecy. And I didn't know what the show was called until like a few weeks before I went in. And then to go in that day after testing and fittings and testing and picking up pagers to know where I was all the time, because it was early 2021 when it was Delta. It was like the scary COVID times. And apparently Esther plus environmental fog plus Confior plus me vomiting equals minus Esther. I cried so much that day. I cried for a month. You know that. I cried for a month.
I never knew that could happen. And if it wasn't COVID, I don't think
it wouldn't have happened if it was COVID.
Which was that story to me is like, to go that far, to literally be on set. I think you did the rehearsal.
That's
right?
that was me yelling at his face. And then doing the rehearsal. Okay, rehearsal's done. And then me turning directly to the director and saying, I am so sorry. I think I'm going to throw up. And then him going, okay, like AD1, AD2, I'm being passed down all the ADs. And then they take me out, and then I'm hanging out in my trailer, and then waiting. And then they're like, they went all the way up the chain, and they're like, you cannot be screaming inside Confior's mouth about your grandchild. When this is how it's an airborne disease.
Yeah.
So.
Ugh.
But I still booked it.
That's you booked it. You got to work with. Yeah, I know.
I still booked it. I made it to rehearsal.
Like in my head, I didn't watch that season yet, but in my head, I thought, well, maybe they cut the scene anyway. So there you go. Did they cut the scene?
No. I saw the person who, and honestly, like, it's fine. Like,
okay.
I thought it was gonna really hurt my feelings, and it did, but not as much as I thought, because it would have been different if it was me.
Yeah.
So I don't mourn it as much. Do you know what, like, does that make any sense? Like,
yeah, and I think this is honestly, when someone asks you what's your crazy on-set story, done.
Best.
This is the craziest story I've ever heard. I've never heard this happening. And I know we're being very coded and secretive.
Wow.
Just because yeah. Did you have to sign an NDA?
Before.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, but they, like, I didn't feel bad. I didn't feel like they made the wrong call.
Yeah.
I think that they made absolutely the correct call within the confines of their protocol. Mm-hmm. But I blame COVID. That's who I blame.
You didn't do anything wrong, right? And yeah. I think it's
the right
so
thing
hard
by telling them.
You have like that, and people wouldn't. And could you imagine getting everyone sick if that? So I like you made a really considerate decision, because not everyone would have done that. It was like a really, you're a good person, because other people might not have been as honest, and who knows what ripple effect that could have had on the entire set, right? So I think it says who you are as a person. If it came, because no one would know really where it came from, but you would know, and it would just be unnecessary. I think. I don't know. That story still makes me cringe. Ugh.
It's terrible. But you know what? At least I know that I am really allergic or very sensitive to atmospheric fog.
Yeah. That's actually a good thing to know, because I didn't know there was going to be fog in that thing I shot on the weekend. I'm like, why is there fog in the bedroom scene? But I get it now after I saw them. But being sensitive to fog, because people just use fog machines for a really cool effect.
Yeah.
I get it.
To diffuse the lighting.
Yeah, it looks really cool on camera. You go, whoa, okay, I understand it.
They have it on like different sets. Like there was the one set, The Boys. Like when I did that, they had fog in the elevator.
Oh, that's a tight space.
And I was like, mind you, because it's all hollowed out and whatever. Like everything can move around, right? It's not a real elevator.
Is it not?
No.
I thought they timed it to precision. Okay.
but I as soon as I saw the fog machine go, I went to the AD and I was like, hey, just so you know, I don't have COVID, and this stuff makes me puke. And they're like, excellent to know. Because I was sort of, it wasn't like, what could it be? Why are you puking?
Right.
And you are bloody. Like,
yeah, that's an interesting combo. Okay.
So.
Remember when we tried to end this chat? That went well.
Oh, no!
I know. This is like a phone call. This is what happens. Guys, now you know, me and Esther don't stop talking. And,
no.
Yeah, it's okay. Well, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out post.
Chop the beginning. Chop all that nonsense. So boring.
The beginning was beautiful. It was
so
great.
much boring.
Why do you think it's boring? Stop it. You're fascinating. Okay.
I was going to talk
I'm sure it was
about
great. Okay, I'm going to end the chat. Esther.
Yes.
Thank you very much for being a guest on Window Chats. It has been a pleasure.
Oh,
I love talking to you.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I don't know why I'm here.
Oh my God. I don't know why I'm still doing these chats, and I don't know why anyone watches it. So we're in a great space. But thank you all to future viewers for watching once we figure out the edits. And okay, we'll do like a weird wave, even though, yeah, okay. Bye. Yeah, that was great.
You literally said do a weird wave.
I know. Okay.